Hello everyone and welcome back to the eighth part tutorial of how to model the foundation of our story. Eighth. So this time we're gonna continue with the rail and see where it goes. So we have the rail as it is right now and we wanna do some more modification to it. So let's do it very quick. Right click, choose edge. Let's grab one of those edges. I don't care any of those, Control right click, edging utilities to edging and split. You will create this split one that will go all the way there. Now, with that, you want to go over edit mesh tool, offset edge, mesh tools and offset edge loop tool. And you want to click on the same edge that you just created, click, hold and drag. And this will create, well, I missed it. Let's undo that and do this again. Click on it and you will create those two at the sides of this edge, so basically up and down. Now you want to add those edges as about like that, okay? So you will have this faces here alongside of those rails. Now you want to switch to selection tool, right click, choose face, grab this one face and follow this faces path. You want to grab the last one over here. So shift and double click on it. So it will select everything in between and basically all those faces, but only in between, not at this side. Okay. Now we're going to do the same here. Shift select this one and shift double click on the last one here. And it will select everything in between. Now, see, like that. You want to click extrude. Search for this gizmo here. And you want to extrude this out to about so. Now it's extruding with 50 divisions. So I basically using right now the same setup for when I created this rail at first. So you want to lower the divisions using the attribute editor. Just simply open it if it's not open and slide this slider all the way to 1. Okay. Now you want to push this to about that, I think, something like that, and then extrude once again. It will again, if you're going to push it over here, you will see it has 50 edges in between, so lower this to 1 and keep it like that. Okay, so it's 2 extrusions that we've done, and press F8 to bring it back to object mode. Now let's isolate this so we won't see the doors, and I'm gonna go over this extrude, edit mesh extrude function. I'm gonna change it already to 1 because I don't want to deal with it every time. And then right click, choose face. We're gonna grab this inner face here, okay? And just as like we did earlier, we're gonna select the last one over here. Let's put it aside over here and shift double click on this one. It will select everything in between. And then shift select this one. And let's select the last one here. Shift double click on this one. Everything in between selected. So these two has been selected. And then, well, it's resetted again to 50. So select, slide it back to 1 and click extrude. Now it will remain 1. So you're gonna push this arrow in this direction, that way. You don't have to do this that much, but you do want to make sure that this is basically the shape that you get. Okay. Press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and now we're all good. So this is how it should look like, you see. So there is like a space for a wheel of those instruments, those links to be added, inserted here. Anyway, with that done, we need to do something here. You want to add some edge loops. Now, right now, this rail is in a mode that's named as non-smooth preview. Now, we're going to use a smooth preview function in order to smooth this. I don't want to smooth it permanently, so I'm going to use the smooth preview option in order to smooth this. So whenever I want to render this, it will remain smooth, but not a permanent smooth as you might think. So in order to do this, basically what you do, you press 3 to smooth preview it. And this is what it's causing. It's causing this weird thing that goes here in this area, and basically all the sharpness of this rail is gone because you pressed on this 3 number. Now if you press 1, it's exit from smooth preview. I'm just explaining this for those who don't familiar with this function. So in order to fix this and make sure that it's behaving correctly as you want to add some maintaining edge loops. And that means that you're going to add edge loops for each corner edge that you have here. For me, corner edges are these, this, that, and so on. All those who are resembling some turning point of the, of the flow. So you want to add edge loops, and you're going to do this shift right click, insert edge loop tool options, because we already used presettings before. You're going to reset this, and you want to add one edge loop here. Okay, I'm going to add it that way, very close to this edge here, so you can see it goes following the entire shape. And this one, basically what I'm doing, I'm adding for each corner edge 2 edge loops in both sides. Basically 1 edge loop in both sides. So right now this one already got one, but we need another one. So the other one will be to add it in this way, like so. Now at the same time, we also created one for this edge. So we have, you see, we have 1 edge here and 2 that in both sides. Now in this corner edge, we already have this one. So we need to add 1 here. Well, not like that, but more of like that. See? And so on. Now if you're gonna go here, you can see that this one here already have this one, so we want to add only 1 here from this area. And this goes following to all of them. So it's a little bit harder to work like that. If you see that you're zooming in and then some of parts of your model are starting to disappear, you need to change the setting of your camera. So what you do, you're going to click on this view option, and you want to choose camera attribute editor. You will get the perspective camera shape attribute node, and you can change here the near clip plane. I'll just show you. Right now you see it's disappearing because it's there. It's very zoomed in. So if you change here to 0.001, now you can see the shape. So it won't disappear in you, and you can work pretty closely to the shape. So let's continue and add more edge loops. Shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm going to add 1 edge loop here to this edge. Okay, this edge, and another one from this side. Sorry, from this side. I'm going to do this here. This one needs to have 1 edge here and 1 edge. No, 1 edge here. Try to do them very close to each other, not attached but close. This one needs to have here 1 and 1 here. And this one needs to have 1 here. This one here needs to have 1 here. Okay. And here we need to have 1 more. Just need to read this and get used to work that way. This one already has this one missing this one, and this one here missing 2. So this one here, this one there. Okay, this one here. Now pay attention that all of them are following the same path. They're going over there to the distance. and they're following down there. Okay, so whatever you add here at this point, it's going all over your entire shape except one edge in this case. So we need to add one here. See, the green is following this rail, and that's good. This one is a little bit too far, but acceptable. And what we have more, have this one here seems to miss one. See, and this one here missing this one. Now the center one doesn't have to have any. Okay, so that's just leave it alone there. And let's have a look. Now, the only one that I added different flow was this one here. See this edge. And that means that I also need to do the same down there at the end of the rail, or the start point of the rail. So first of all, let's press F8 3 times, or 1 time, sorry. So it will get back to be green, the wireframes, and press 3. If everything is still if it's you press 3, it's moved it, and everything looks sharp, okay, then that's great. But again, pay attention for what you're doing. Now, also one very important thing, whenever you create edges, like the one that I've done, basically most people, what they will do if they want to adjust an edge, like this one, which I said it's a little bit far, they will double click on it and start to slide it or something, right? Now, when you smooth preview something, it means that the shape has been stretched, okay, in some way. So if I'm going to grab this edge here right now when it's smoothed, and I decided, well, I will show you this, with this one. This one, you can see it's here. Now, if I want to relocate this edge into here, you see what it does? Now, this happens because if you press 1 to non-smooth preview mode, you'll understand that it's very much past the position that it should be. It should remain in the same boundaries like that, like between this edge here and the edge here, this one, okay, this one and then the one next to it. You can't move them that way. So anytime you want to edit an edge, please make sure you are in non-smooth preview mode and don't do this in smooth preview mode. Some people have this manner, this habit to do this on that particular case, and then they will mess up with their scene. So make sure you do it in non-smooth preview mode. So you can put it very close to where it should be, and press 3, and still it will remain as it should be. Okay, so this area has been done. We only care about this area, so I'm going to smooth preview once again, and you can see this area is a little bit missing something. It's missing that edge that I need to put it here. So I'm going to press 1 to exit the smooth preview, and you will see that it's missing this third one here. See, this one has this one has this one, but they don't have the third one. So press F8 to bring it back to object mode, insert edge loop. I'm gonna grab this edge loop, add it over here, press 3, and now it's all good. Now, as for this rail thing I created here, I have the feeling that I made it a little bit too thick in this area. So I'm going to unsmooth it and always edit it in non-smooth preview mode. I'm going to switch to side view, I don't know, something like that. Not that side view, but front view, basically. I'm going to zoom in a lot. Right click, choose, switch to selection tool, right click, vertices. I'm going to grab only these side vertices all along this path. Well, I missed those, so I can shift right click and choose those. Just make sure you selected only this row of vertices. And let's switch to side view, perspective view. And we can use the move tool and scale this down a a little bit. You see I grabbed both row, and this is what you need to do. Sorry, not just one, but those two, because we already edited this. We had some more edges there. So I need to take them in mind as well. Okay, so right now it's thinner than earlier, and that's good. Now I'm gonna unisolate this because there is the door, and now we want to position this correctly. So first of all, you want to switch to side view here, and you want to relocate this a little bit here. So you need to have a little bit space in between them, something like that. Okay. Now, right now for me, it looks like I made it a little bit too thick, the width of this rail, but that's okay. Let's just put it here and make sure we have a little bit space from the door and this will be this will help us to understand also what will be the pivot position, those wheels that goes inside this rail, how far they will be from the door. Okay, so whatever will be the case, try not to do this that far, maybe just a little bit space in between them, not much, something like that. Okay, and now you want to move this closer here to about so. And I'm going to do something that for some of you will look a little bit weird, but if you want to stay on safe side and make it symmetrical, so what I'm going to suggest to you is to grab, I don't know, like, see this side of this rail, grab this face here, right? Okay, and go over edit mesh and duplicate this. Okay, but you need to first make sure that you're satisfied with how the distance is from this. So I'm going to undo that for a second. Let's stay satisfied with what we are doing and move this a little bit closer to the door. So there is distance in this and some distance in that. So that's cool. So now I forgot something, sorry. Let's grab those vertices and hold on the V key and snap them to the door lever. And now I will grab this face here, this face, edit mesh, duplicate, press F8 3 times, unselect the rail, make sure you only select remained with this face that you duplicated, modify center pivot for it, extrude it as it is, switch to move tool, hold down the V key and snap it to the distance of the door. So you see if I'm going to switch to front view right now, I mean if you perspective view, you can see it's exactly what the distance from the rail to the door from the front point of view. Okay, let's take a look from top view. Okay, so this is the rail, and this is this little piece that we extruded. So you see this is the rail, this is the door, and this is the distance that we have between them. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I can grab this piece right now, hold down the V key, and snap this to the second side, the other side, sorry, of this doors, and hold on the V key and snap it so I know exactly where the rail should be. So I can grab this secondary rail, this rail, Control D to duplicate it, move it here. And before that, I'm going to switch to perspective view. And we have this area where it's the, the entry of the wheel. And right now, this one is opposite. It's the same, and we need it opposite. So what you want to do, you want to switch to channel box. And if I'm going to hold on the switch to scale tool and do something such as this, you see, you can see that the scale axis is moving. So I'm going to undo that and going to do this again. Okay, So the X is moving. So whatever will be the case, which one of the scale is moving for you, basically I know that I only want to use this handle because it will, basically what it will do, if you didn't understand, oh, sorry about that. See, I'm squeezing it and I'm flipping it at the same time, okay? So you want to flip it basically. And if you use this handle, which is the side handle, okay, the side of the rail handle should be, you can see that the scale X is moving from the origin 1. It needs to be the -1 in order to be flipped at the same size, okay? So -1 and it will flip. The only thing that matters for you is if you have other values, make sure you do the negative to them, okay? So you just make sure that you are scaling on whatever axis, most likely Z and X, okay? And then you will use those values as negative, okay? The original values. So the only problem with that right now is that the normals has been flipped because we flipped this at this way. So you want to go over normals and choose reverse, and then this black faces, which indicate flip normals faces, will get back to be gray and as they should be. The only thing that matters right now is to switch to move tool, hold down the V key, and snap the rail to the same position where this little chunk that we created is, okay? I'm gonna grab this, hold on the D and V key. I'm gonna use this as a corner, the pivot to the corner, attach it to the corner. This thing here, hold on the V key, just snap it. So you see it snapped here. I'm gonna use the front view to see this, so, or the upper view. All right. But for some reason, let's see. I'm gonna just assume that it's correct where it's correctly where it should be, right? It's same distance from the door, but I want to make sure that this distance hasn't been modified differently. Yeah, it's okay. So Control Z to undo that, and this piece doesn't have any more use, so we can delete it. So we have two rails now, this one and this one. We can press 3. Both are smooth preview and they look good. We will need to create links in between those door pieces and the pivot links that will be attached to the rail. Now, from this position, I can safely say that if you know how to rig this rig that I already showed you, you can do this as long that this door the path will be as it's like that, like creating the path above, a little bit above this rail, okay? Or, I don't know, maybe, yeah, that's okay, just do it that way. Make it as the door, like if you're gonna use this edge, well, I'm gonna show you this later on, never mind. Let's keep it as it is. I'm gonna save this file, save scene, and this is it for this part, where we will continue at the next part with the entire thing and see how it goes. So thank you again for watching, and sorry for this one being a little bit shorter than the other one, but I'm trying to divide those into the subjects in, this process into some reasonable, I don't know, parts. Anyway, thank you again, and see you soon at the next part. Bye bye.